Hi everyone, my name is Jasmine and I'm from Jasmine and the Littles, and in today's video we're going to be talking about our top favorite preschool math curriculums that we have tried so far. And if you're new here, I talk about some of our homeschooling life, mom life, and some of our journey. So don't forget to hit that like and that comment and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more of this content. A little bit of context, my daughter is currently 4 years old at the time of this video, and we actually started a dedicated preschool math curriculum when she was about a little over 2.5 years old. Now, before 2.5, we worked on a lot of numbers, number sense, basic counting, things like that. But I just knew the way that my daughter, she's a little bit advanced and she's a sponge. I knew that she would really do well with some form of structure and a little bit of advancement for math. So I was on the hunt to find some form of a math curriculum that was just a little bit more refined. Now, throughout, the years of looking at this stuff, you always go to like the stores and you'll find some of those like preschool workbooks and things like that at like Walmart or Sam's Club or Costco. And those just really was not doing it for me. And a lot of those particular workbooks require a lot of writing at that stage, and my daughter did not know how to really write. So I wanted something that was going to be more structured, actually provided a really good base and foundation for math, but also not to require hardly any writing or very little writing at all. So in today's video, we're going to be going over our top preschool math curriculums that really worked well for us. And just a quick note, all of the curriculums that I show you today, you cannot go wrong with any of them. It really depends on a couple of factors. First of all, your budgets. Second of all, your time that you really want to commit to, and possibly your child's learning style and your teaching style and how you really want to situate things. So the first book that really helped us out was this JDA Preschool Beginner Math Workbook. This is for ages 2 through 4 and it's in a workbook form. What I love about this one is that it teaches concepts like counting, patterns, shapes, measurements, and visual discrimination. And the best part, it doesn't really require any actual handwriting. It's mostly coloring, circling, simple activities, which I absolutely loved at that stage. The difficulty also builds gradually and it starts off super easy and it gets just a little bit more challenging toward the end. My daughter went through about 3/4 of this workbook and it was just a great, gentle introduction to structured math. The next one that is in my repertoire is the Preschool Math at Home book by Kate Snow, and I honestly feel like everyone should have a copy of this book if you are looking into having a preschool math curriculum or a preschool math base. If there's only one math book you buy for preschool, I will probably make it this one. This one focuses on counting, comparing, and ordering numbers and the very beginnings of addition and subtraction. It says it's only about 5 minutes a day, but for us, it usually took a little bit longer because it is very activity based. It uses things you already have around the house to build number sense in a really natural way. There are no workbooks at all with this one. It also introduces something called subitizing, and in simple terms, subitizing just means recognizing quantities without counting. So if I hold up 3 fingers, you automatically know it's 3 without counting. That's subitizing. This book also covers comparing numbers, joining and taking away, and all of it is done through hands-on activities. So if you don't want a workbook and just want a strong number sense through play-based learning, this is the book. Now, for my absolute favorite preschool math curriculum, this is the Singapore Math Dimensions Pre-K. This is a true dedicated math curriculum. Think K through 6 level structure, but in a preschool format. So here's how it works. There are 2 levels, pre-KA and pre-KB. So think of them as like the first semester and the second semester. Each level has a teacher's guide, a textbook, and a workbook. So in total, it actually ends up being 6 books. Yeah, I said it, 6 books. Now, the scope and sequence for this is amazing. In pre-KA, you cover things like matching, sorting, classifying, comparing objects, patterns, numbers 1 through 10, and counting up to 10. In pre-KB, you go into ordinal numbers like the first, second, third, and fourth, shapes and solids, comparing sets like more and fewer, posing and decomposing numbers, and the start of early addition and subtraction. Now, it might sound like a lot, but my daughter was more than ready for it. And honestly, Singapore Math is known for being more advanced than most curriculums. So in my opinion, this is basically kindergarten math in a preschool format. The only downside to this to me is the price. To me, it can be very expensive, definitely over $100. So I bought the teacher's guide secondhand, but I bought the workbooks and textbooks new. Now, if you're on a budget, you technically don't need the textbook and the workbook. You could just use the workbook and the teacher's guide and still get great results. And just like the JDA workbook, this one also doesn't require handwriting. It's mostly circling, coloring, and marking answers. She worked through this curriculum for about a year, from 2.5 to right before 3.5. I loved it so much that I even bought the kindergarten version later. But I did not end up using it for kindergarten long term. I switched to another program, but Singapore Math Dimensions is still an incredible curriculum and I highly recommend it. So for my final thoughts, from cheapest to most expensive, Preschool Math at Home by Kay Snow, then JDA Preschool Beginner Math, then Singapore Math Dimensions Preschool. If you're on a tight budget, the first two will absolutely get the job done. But if you are willing to invest and want a full structured curriculum, Singapore Math Dimensions is 100% worth it. If you use it with your child, kindergarten math will feel so easy later on. And don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button because I'm going to be sharing more curriculum reviews, more homeschool content, and more mom life content. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.